When I first stepped into the house, it was all the residents. Jeff wasn't there. I lived there a year before Jeff, right?
It was about a year.
Yeah. And Lauren was there. He seemed kind of weird.
Well, I signed this lease in this house and I moved in with these fellas. And they already had this music room set up in the basement. And we went down there. I got on the drums and we just sort of started to play some music. And we pretty much just did that every night for months. And after a while, we just sort of started to want to do something with that music. And that's sort of where it all started.
Well, we made it through the ranks of the up-and-coming bands of Boulder pretty fast. Yeah, pretty fast. And yeah, there was a great demand for us. People were yelling, "Hey, Aple Daht," in the streets, you know, and it's a good feeling. Well, transmissions came later, but first there was our introductory tune that kind of just kicked the door in, called Dino Lasers. Inspired from Dino Riders, of course. What isn't?
And so we just went down to the basement and like we did every night, we just started it up and then it just sort of flowed, you know. I got some of the electric drums going and we just went from there and it just sort of evolved into this piece that I think everybody in the world really fell in love with, you know. It was just beautiful.
It was kind of like a rock'em sock'em, bust you in the mouth type tune.
Yeah. You see, it came to a point where I realized, like, I'm the talent in the band. I'm doing all the work, and these fellas are just getting drunk and showing up. And I didn't want to say anything because they're nice blokes. Like, I didn't want to have any offense with them, but like, I just felt like I was doing all the work, and they were just kind of, you know, living off of me. And I just had a really hard time with that.
Yeah, Dino Lasers kind of set the tone for what we were gonna, kind of the template of what we were trying to accomplish really just came all together that night. Or it all came together that night. I mean, we didn't all come together that night. Hey, we might have, you know, it was a late night. Probably all went to bed at about the same time. Yeah.
Transmissions was a great song. You see, we sort of had another one of our jam sessions one night. We laid down a real simple sort of song. We real simple bass, not a lot of guitar, and I went real easy on the drum. And as we thought about it more, we added on, and you know, about a week later, we went down, recorded again, and we had what we thought was a pretty good song, and it turned out to be our most popular song.
After Transmissions was Fireflies, was heavier, kind of, you know, kind of went along with Dino Riders as a, you know, punchy in the gut type song. Really showed the nation who's boss with that one. But what was the question?
It was not long after that first recording of Transmissions that Lauren fell into a bit of a deep depression. It's hard to talk about.
Yeah, the wow, tough subject. The dismantling of our band. It all started falling apart. A little bit of a Yoko Ono situation with the band. Therese came in the situation, and she pretty much self-anointed herself as the cellist / vocalist of the band, and none of us were having it. You know, but Lauren, being the John Lennon type he is, just fell right in love with her. And, you know, they rode off into the sunset. Miss Lauren. And he got into some heavy stuff that Therese was doing. And she kind of opened him up into the world of, you know, hard drugs and hardcore porn and hardcover books. And, you know, he was just a downward spiral he couldn't get out of. Cut. Can't take it.
You see, he started to get into all these weird things. I mean, we were all into really weird things. But he started to get into all kinds of like hardcore drugs, hardcore porn, and he even got into hardcover books. And then we had what we call a bit of a Yoko Ono situation. You see, she sort of got him into these things, you know, that I talk about, and at one point, without really telling us much about what was going on, he just decided to up and move away, and that really was sort of the end of what we had going, you know.
And yeah, with the departure of Lauren, kind of came the departure of everything. Really, Lauren was probably the least talented man in the group, but he was kind of the glue guy. Kept everybody together. Kept the liquor flowing. And we're gonna miss him. Yeah, and you know, after Lauren's departure and his downward spiral into drugs and literature, Jeff kind of had it. He had it with the whole deal. He was tired of the lifestyle. You know, he had just gotten his degree. He was just ready to jump out of the world of, you know, music and, you know, partying late and, you know, hang out with celebrities and stuff, and into the world of architecture. I don't blame him. It's a pretty fun and sweet thing.
And so after Lauren left, it all sort of started to fall apart. I started to focus more on school. I was studying architecture and I wasn't too into it, but then I started to realize, like, I laid down the foundation for the music.
Yeah, Jeff will probably tell you something about how he was laying foundation for the band and how he's gonna do that through architecture, how it's such a natural progression, but I think he just wanted out of the band.
And like, I should be doing foundations for other things like buildings and houses, you know? And so that's what I really focused on for months after that. And it sort of ended what we were doing.
You know, I remember Lauren as a little schoolboy, just plucking his guitar, like, just asking me for advice. What should I do here? I'd say, hey, make it a B major, and he would always go minor. You know, he was just the kind of guy he was. Yeah, once he got wind of Jeff leaving for the world of architecture, the exciting, fast lifestyle of architecture, he fell into a deep depression. He got, you know, more into the hardcore drugs and hardcore porn, hardcover books. Delved right into it, and it was, you know, it was like quicksand. He couldn't get out. And he eventually drowned in the quicksand. That's actually how he died. He was hiking in the hills of Santa Ana and fell into some quicksand, and
He had a backpack full of hardcover books and he couldn't get out. Poor guys. It's his demise.
So it turned out Lauren had gotten into hiking, which is weird. You know, we didn't ask, but he ended up hiking in these hills. I don't remember what they were called, and got caught in these quicksands. Any normal bloke would be able to get out of it, but he had this backpack full of hardcover books, because that's what he got into, as I may have mentioned. And it dragged him down, you know, and he was not able to get out, and that was it for him, you know. And we miss him. I miss him. I haven't seen him, and I miss him.
I'll tell you what, Lauren, if you're YouTubing in heaven, I gotta tell you something. I'll always be Aple Daht.
You see, the band was a big part of my life, and now it's not. And I feel like I don't want to go back there and keep answering these fucking questions. I feel like, you know, this fucking interview's over. How do you get this fucking thing off? I just don't care in my life.
You can miss it if you're not watching it. You can miss it, but you can't complain it. Here for a pop in the scene. There's much more that you can be like. The transmission from across the street.